Welcome, small steppers. Do you ever feel like your willpower sucks? Like you know what to do, but have a hard time doing it or sticking with it? There's nothing wrong with you if that's true, because there's nothing wrong with your willpower either. Everyone struggles with willpower and self sabotage. Universal, okay? Thankfully, there are strategies that you can use, and I'm going to be telling you one of them today, that can outsmart self sabotage. So I'm going to jump in that. I'm going to use a client as an example for one of the strategies that I'll give you today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christine Garrison, and I'm a health coach. I help empty nest moms get their health back on track and feel younger as they get older so that their next years can be some of their best years. So let me tell you about my recent client who, when she came to me, she's an empty nest mom herself who had recently retired. And let me tell you, she was making the most of her retirement. She had only been retired a few months and she was going out several nights a week, having dinners with friends, going on lots of weekend travel adventures, lots of longer vacations. She was really living it up. But sometimes with that comes other consequences. And she was having some of those consequences. She was having some changes in her health. She wasn't feeling as good physically. She didn't have as much energy. She was not having as much self-confidence in her appearance, etc. So she did what most women start off with is, I'm going to go on a restrictive diet. And so she tried that. And lo and behold, it wasn't working so well. She didn't feel super great about that. So she came to me and we started working together. Now we worked together for several months and we, went over lots of different strategies, but today I'm going to give you one of them. When she came to me, I explained to her that going on a restrictive diet and doing punishing exercise routines is kind of like trying to sprint to the top of a mountain, okay? Can you sprint to the top of a mountain? No, you cannot. You can only make it so far until your willpower and your self-sabotage kick in and say, this sucks. I'm not doing this anymore. And you go tumbling back down and then end up feeling like a failure to boot. Okay. So I explained that to her. So instead, we started off with one of my favorite strategies that I'm going to talk about today. And I call that, what if I just take a small step? So that's what she did. She looked at the areas of her life where she was looking to make some changes. And instead of like, I'm going to throw out all the food in my house and buy all new diet approved food, she just picked one easy, small step that she could make that she knew would help her to feel better. So she started with that one small step. I'll cut to the chase. Lo and behold, she had a big 2-week vacation planned before we started working together that she was trying to get ready for. And she was a little concerned with how it was going to go on this 2-week vacation. So she got back from her 2-week vacation and was very excited to tell me that it felt effortless. The whole vacation, she enjoyed herself. She was super confident in the decisions that she made. She felt really good about her choices and she had a blast. She had a ball and she never felt like, oh, I'm in deprivation or I can't do this. In fact, she noticed some of her girlfriends that were on the trip with her, was a big group of people. She noticed her girlfriends saying things like, I shouldn't eat this, or I can't have that, or oh, I totally blew it today. And she told me that, I know I used to say those things in the past, but I don't feel the need to say those things anymore. It just felt effortless. And all of that started by making a small change, not by stop drinking all the wine or changing everything you eat, just by making a small change. And she shifted her perspective and she was able to see things in a different way and it became easy. So that is what the power of what if I just take one small step can do for you. It starts an effortless journey. So my challenge for you today is, what is one small step that you could take today that you know will make you feel better later today or to tomorrow. And you know the things that you can do today that will make you feel better today or tomorrow. Things like getting a good night's sleep, so maybe going to bed a little bit earlier, even a half hour earlier, drinking more water, having an apple to get more fiber in your diet, going for a short walk. You know a short walk is probably going to improve your mood, give you more energy, make you feel better. But if you tell yourself, well, I need to walk for an hour and a half or it doesn't count, that's not true. Small and easy. Small and easy defeats willpower and self-sabotage because it just doesn't trigger willpower and self-sabotage struggles, right? It doesn't piss off willpower to go for a 5 or 10 minute walk, okay? It's doable. So pick your one small step that you could do today that you know can make you feel better later today and to tomorrow, okay? Continue that small step and go from there. And that will make your next years be some of your best years. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.